Makes sense that they'd want to play something like a Kali Nocturne, but then he also says sometimes they make a bad decision. So LYON is just set up to have strong 5v5 team fighting, rely on either Saint or Berserker to get fed enough, and everybody else can just set him up.
Yeah, and I think the real question is, can one? And sending Dokla back to base already. Of course, Dokla can ult back to lane. They're going to pop the Nocturne all here on Orianna with no flash. They take him down easily with the perfect execution of the Paranoia.
So he's just going to take this Drake solo. Potentially, if Cryer and Call Me had decided to move into River, they could stop him, but it would just be a losing percentage play if Berserker...
We'll see if he gets all three, but LYON's going to be slowed down, and immediately Berserker just dashing forward with the Transcend oneself. They were trying to get in onto LYONs to have the knock-up with the Wild Growth, but LYONs did flash early enough. With that XP disadvantage, knew there was no chance of a fight. Berserker and Isles playing this very well, as Cryer will claim all
pushing bot lane, but they're not really setting up any gank or dive opportunities, so just got to be patient and continue to scale up.
Yep, Castle just going forward to the skies, taking another really good trade here onto Dokla, who has just gotten back to lane. Roll quest already complete. Jed taking a fight here onto Isles. Isles has got to be careful. It's going to flash out of there. Look at the Wild Growth. Cool. Knocks them both up, and LYONs has no flash and no chance to survive. Berserker and Isles starting this up. You can see Call Me trying to position on the side to look for an angle to engage. LYON, though, I think they're just going to back it up. Inspired is just heading back into his jungle, wants to continue farming, so LYON decides, you know what, we don't need to fight it. It's just one dragon. We got the first
Jed LYONs temporarily, but LYON just wants to stay down here to funnel even more gold onto Berserker. Will likely give up this Rift Herald, but I'm okay if I'm LYON and I'm giving gold onto Berserker because of what happened last week. The games themselves were very close, and in game 1, Saint got a triple kill early. In game 2, Berserker got a triple kill early. And it just led to a very strong...
And here, and Dokla's in the brush. They didn't see him coming. Kryra does have the spell shield available for the knockup. So Jed just gets rocked by Berserker. He is pushed back, and that means you're not going to have the AD carry in the fight. Castle is here, though, and is trying to get a big shock blast in onto Lulu. They're going to try to knock down Isles. Isles with the self-wild growth and the shockwave. It's a bounce house as everyone is just knocking Kryra up time and time again. In goes Call Me to the back line, though, but can't get to Inspired or Isles to finish him off. Dokla flashes out with no health. LYON survive with barely any health as another shock blast lands, but just can't get the kill.
And that was a 4v5 the entire time. Saint free pushing bot lane on Orianna, so that is a bold fight for LYON to take. They will likely lose the turret, but it's still a big win overall.
The Dragon LYON lacking a bit of vision has mostly been cleared out. They do now spot that Dragon with their blue orb. Castle's going to get engaged on. He is getting knocked up, and he's now polymorphed. But into the backline goes Kryra, flashing in onto Berserker. The barrier is popped, but Berserker is feared, and Berserker is finished off. Kryra going to be traded back on the other side. It's Jed and LYONs alive, though, and it's only the one kill. They lose Castle so early as he was positioned so aggressively in that brush and ended up just being food for LYON.
LYON takes those. I had eyes locked on Berserker the whole time, and Kryra did barely get the execution, but it's 2 for 1 and will lead to another LYON Drake. So slow and steady right now, starting to win the race.
Yeah, and Castle.
Very long way in living through those two.
Tower is knocked down. Call Me's down here, but Inspired again. Full combo with that actualizer on your shockwave can be quite nice. Kryra does not know that he is on vision, and all of LYON are here. The lights get turned out by the Paranoia, but that is just kind of defensive. I think they're going to have to try to back it up. The tidal wave used there as Castle TP's in the middle of the whole team, and he is being focused immediately, does knock them back, but Berserker goes in. Berserker has them so low, and this feels like a pentakill waiting to happen. Call Me is running, goes back in, uses the perfect execution to dive back out once again. Berserker, though, dashing forward to Jed low, Castle low, Call Me low. DSG do survive, but that war did a lot. Call Me TPing back in, though. Will they actually go for a read?
DSG to fight. The amount of shields a Berserker can have is a bit lower. It is just getting harder and harder to get on top of him, though, with the Orianna and the Lulu shields being possible.
Berserker goes forward there, takes a ton of damage, though, as Jed able to disengage that and trade back effectively. Call Me now going to get spotted. Berserker is going to be looking for him as well, but they're going to be engaging on a Berserker, and he is just dead already. Call Me falls at the same time. Another kill going the way of a LYON as they get 2. Kryra and Call Me both down. Jed going to have to flash up the wall. Dokla flashing to follow. They're going to be able to finish off Jed as Castle trying to re-engage onto Isles and Saint, who are low health, but he just can't close the gap, and Inspired is still full health. and Dokla is not going to be knocked down to this one. DSG running for it. Lions has to flash. They do survive. It will mean they lose the Dragon, though, as Castle trying to keep them interested, trying to get something done here. But Inspired has his eyes on the Dragon, and again, Inspired showing his class, just finding that flank from Call Me and starting off the fight effectively.
And it's just such a huge play from Inspired. I feel like he does this more than any other jungler in the LCS. Find the flank, like DSG to be the ones pulling the trigger, but they're consistently doing defensive engagements.
Oh, Berserker getting rocked here. Kryber's gonna go in. They're trying to knock him down. The barrier, though, the flash keeps him alive. Berserker barely survives, but now Call Me is here. And Castle has found Saint on the side. Saint getting chunked down, but Isles there to peel. Berserker.
Press Nocturne are, though.
Dokla taking a lot of free damage. This is a bit risky. Kryber gonna get spotted, pops the Paranoia, has to flash out though as they're going in aggressive. You can see all the damage getting put down onto Dokla. Call Me trying to find an angle, but still, Inspired will not let him. Inspired going in onto Call Me. Call Me uses the Shroud. Berserker is getting kind of pushed back towards Call Me, but he's got to run for it as he gets polymorphed. Castle goes in. Inspired jumps right on him as the Crescent Guard is popped, and the big shutdown there on a Berserker. Call Me finally is online and getting something done in this fight. Jet now looking for more. Saint is low. All of these health bars blinking red for LYON, but time and time again, they always seem to survive with low health bars. This time it will be the Dragon, though, for DSG as they do win the fight.
Call Me found the damage onto Berserker, finally, and this could be a big swing in this game. They're going to stay on the map, teleport up, and likely try and force this Baron. The Nocturne Ultimate is going to be up fairly soon as well. Jace can take the Hex Gates to redeploy. The death timer on Berserker is still pretty long, and he's the majority of their damage.
Yeah, they're going to be able to work away on this. It's going down pretty slow, though. This could be a bit risky. Inspired still has his Guardian Angel. Will not have Crescent Guard. Shockwave is up and available, so let's see how the contest
looks.
Go faster.
Lions
is kind of getting low, and this is taking so long to get knocked down. Berserker is Hex getting out. Remember, this is the Rift that is up and available. It's down to 6K. They need to try to decide, are we bursting or not? Call Me's going to the backline. Here comes the Paranoia, but the big Shockwave from Saint pushes them back, and LYON knocked down the enemy jungler. Call Me incredibly low. Inspired just going on a solo mission, kills off the jungler, and now he wants Castle next. Gonna be chasing in after him, dashing in. Castle does not look like he is winning this fight. Inspired goes unstoppable. Berserker knocks down Sajet.
Isn't super clean. Berserker is able to free hit. Shockwave was perfect. I believe that.
All right, just tracking summoners, and
I guess they got the Berserker flash.
Yeah, so they got Berserker Flash, so they're going to be keeping their eyes on the prize. We'll see if they can get something done with this, as now LYON going to be pushing up, and the wave clear, not the best from DSG. We'll see how many turrets they do lose, as it is going to be Castle pushing down mid lane, and it looks like Inspired is the one there to respond. Inspired is just so ridiculously strong that he is the one looking for 1v1s against the Soul Laners all game long. It's 35 minutes in, and Castle is running from the 1v1 as Dokla arrives here with the teleport, trying to find him. On the other side, though, they are looking for the engage. Kryber just getting destroyed by Saint and Berserker. He goes in, and he regrets it very quickly. The bubble comes out, not going to be able to find anything, though. Berserker is just completely unconcerned with everything that DSG can do. Just pushing forward non-stop here. LYON feels like they are getting very close to closing this one.
Even a Knight's Vow to reduce the damage that Berserker takes. He is really becoming an even bigger problem. They might try and just push all the way to the Nexus here if things go right.
Yep, they do still have quite a while on this. Call Me, though, very deep on a flank, was spotted on the ward, and of course, Inspired is the closest one to him. Inspired gonna go hunting once again for the Akali here as the rest of the team does push in. Berserker dueling with Castle, and it looks like he's gonna get the better of him. The wild growth comes through for Miles, as he's always got the Lulu in his back pocket. Inspired still just chasing out Call Me, and LYON win the 4v4 when the Akali is not there so easily.
Inspired is just a menace for Call Me. Call Me can't even get back to base as LYON is just collecting these inhibitors.
He is level 18 on the Xin Zhao, 270 CS at this point of the game. Inspired on a mission in this one has been incredible. LYON knock down the mid lane inhib, take the top lane inhib, and they're looking to finish off the game as LYON gets the lead. It's a Jet follows quickly. Kryber's into the back line, but he's got no chance. Call Me, the last one standing, is sure to fall quickly. He gets polymorphed and knocked down once more. DSG made him work for it, but LYON showed their class, and Inspired just dominated this game.
7-0-6. And same with Rumble, so it's just a good team comp. I can't complain when they pick Standard.
It is a really good team comp. People hate on Jin, but I mean, it's very cohesive, and we are getting the Vayne. This was the last time Sajed honestly had a super...
but it's all about being able to hit the right power spikes and teamfight well.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes even when Vayne is down a little bit, his equalizer are going to get dropped on a Castle. Castle may be forced to flash here. He's going to be flash followed by Dokla, and Dokla takes him out. It's a solo.
Like, that's your whole game. Yep. Like, the minion was 5 health, and the other guy knew he could all in.
It is painful, and now Isle's going to surprise Kryra here. He is put low. Castle does have the level 6 advantage. He is coming in, trying to look for a fight, goes across the Veil, just getting cooked up, though, in that invis, and now Saint arrives. Magical Journey not going to do much. Flash away, but Castle's in trouble. Tries to go back with the Between Worlds and just gets locked down and killed. Sent back to the base. Kryra getting chased out of his own jungle here as well. Dokla overheating. Not going to be able to actually finish off Kryra, but is sent back, and it's a solo kill on the Vayne, and that is barrier flash used. Berserker gets the 1v1 kills. The wheels have fallen off, and now we're gonna watch Calmy probably fall as well. Maybe he'll get one back. The tower doesn't have the damage. Calmy survives, and thank God for that, because this one is already looking completely cooked.
Game 1 was a warm-up. This is the chaos.
Contested Dragon here for LYON as DSG just trying to hold on. I mean, mid and jungle aren't behind really, but bot lane and top lane is a bit of a canyon, and even from a deficit, LYON was team fighting back. Kryra on the side, looking to see if there's an opportunity here. If Saint goes aggressive, they might try to look for this, and now he's going to clone forward, trying to look for him. There's the Emperor's Divide, knocks him back. The fate is sealed. Calmy's incredibly low, and Saint is just going to take him down. Doesn't even need his jungler. Give him the...
Just stolen as he walked past with the way the camp cooldown is going to go.
Looking for Berserker here. Tries to go for the flash predict. Can't find a beautiful backstep there from Berserker. Has the fleet footwork pop. Flashing over his Sajed. Should be able to finish him off. The teleport's coming in. Isles does arrive. There's the condemn, but Saint is here to pick up the kill. Isles unfortunately does get it. A nice attempt at a play from DSG, and it does get them the 1-for-1. But Lions, unfortunately, is getting surrounded here and may get chased down. Inspired does have the ult, doesn't really want to use it, and will not have to, as it is going to be another kill going the way of LYON, and Saint is even going to be able to get the bot lane tower.
Yep, they killed Berserker, but it came at great cost. The bot lane turret goes over.
Yep, and now Dokla popping the equalizer, but Kryra is in the brush, and Castle and Kryra will be able to team up to knock one down. Saint goes in with the fate is sealed. It only finds the clone, looking for Kryra, trying to finish him off with the auto attacks. Doesn't quite have the damage, and does the tower shot on the other side? No. Both of them will be able to...
They're likely going to still have to reset because the Vayne has no pressure anywhere on the map, and it's fairly unlikely they're able to secure this Drake unless LYON really invest for a kill on top lane.
Yeah, it's going to be very tough. I mean, they're just starting to lose a lot of towers. They already lost that bot tier 1. Now they have the Herald. They're working down that mid tier 1, and Isles is behind Calmy. Dokla trying to soften him up. Calmy is able to sidestep both those Electro Harpoons, but now you see the Herald coming in here. And we'll see how Calmy can try to play this. The teleport going to be coming in from Castle. Nice Emperor's Divide, scoops him back. It does clear out the wave, but the tower is getting low. Isles has the aggro. Castle comes in between worlds, trying to knock down Isles. He's incredibly low. Flash forward, shut down there for Calmy. Now Kryra arrives. Can they get more? The answer looks like it is no, but again, another good play here from DSG, not rolling over. They are not going to give up this game without a fight.
Isles has a bounty, so Calmy a pretty big benefactor of that play. They're going to try to continue the invade, but...
Oh, Sajed, I mean, he escaped from Saint before and then just kind of walks back blind into the play it and kill the tower first or something, but it definitely did not work out, and now Isles is going to get spotted here. Saint on the side in the 1v2 against Lions, and Calmy goes back in with the fate is sealed, and it looks like Calmy is going to be falling again. Saint does it once again in the 1v2, and surely he's going to fall. Does take a while, but is knocked down there by Kryra. Might be Isles falling here too. Kryra trying to stay ahead of him, trying to block the dredge line. Can't quite do it, but in comes Castle from the side to help him finish him off. It's another couple kills going the way of DSG.
And this is the chaos that LYON would like to be better at playing in. They see an opportunity to go for a kill. So
Sajed able to survive there, but this has just not been a fun game for him. Ever since the beginning of the game, that 2v2, they lost that pretty hard and then get solo killed in a 1v1 by Berserker. And that's kind of why you're picking the Vayne into the Jhin, is to be able to do that the other way, right? You're looking for those 1v1 outplays. They're going to find a dive on the top side. 3v1, no chance for Castle, didn't even get to move.
I think that's what they envisioned when they wanted to dive the Azir, was let's lock him down and then surely we kill him.
Yeah, they got the rare redo.
Yeah, no Rift Herald to mess it up this time.
Exactly, yep. Azir on the other side of the map, though, trying to get some gold back. Call Me will be able to at least take down a tier 1 tower. I don't think there's any objective bounties, though, so not going to be a massive cash-in. There is still that top lane tier 1, which has like a one little tickle of health left on it. There's any auto, any minion, anything is going to kill that. So DSG can get a little bit of that standing gold, but LYON, a couple good plays. Once again, kind of re-extend that gold lead, and it is now up to 4.5K once again. Yeah,
Saint is really becoming a problem in this game. You can see just creating a lot of pressure on his own.
Also going to be nice, and it's just another cheap, efficient item as LYON looking for a play here. Cryer will clone for the disengage, but Call Me kind of didn't get the memo that they were backing up, and he's just going to be hit by the Glacial Prison, knocked down in a hurry. As Berserker pops the curtain call, and Kryra's got nowhere to go. He's going to die, and the Baron just spawned. I think LYON are going to be heading right for it. Sajed looking for that play onto Berserker. Doesn't get rooted up, but it's a beautiful hook, resulting in yet another kill. DSG were all over the place in that one. It felt like they all had a different idea of how they wanted to play it out.
And LYON had one singular idea of how to play it out. Their team fighting has been superior this entire series. The timing could also not be better with the Baron spawning at 20 minutes. Even if Jhin is not that good at Baron, the Yone certainly is, and Saint is 2,500 gold ahead of Call Me after that last triple kill.
Yeah, not too bad, and they're going to be able to grab that Baron, reset with lots of time to be able to actually look for the next dragon, which would be, I mean, it kind of just felt like they were all on a very different page.
Very different pages.
Kryra and Sajed and Lions want to run. Call Me's re-engaging. Then Kryra's like, oh crap, I better stay, but his mid laner's already dead. Then Sajed's like, well, what if I go for a 1v1? You know, it just didn't work out. Dokka going to drop the equalizer here. Tempered Fate will find nothing, but at least it looks cool. And Saint going to be heading up towards that top side to reinforce. Isles is coming as well. Magical Journey to try to get them back to safety. We'll see if it does just that, as Saint looking forward with the Soul Unbound, but cannot find them.
Yeah, they are all spread out right now, though, so LYON could look to collapse.
Yeah, Kryra in a lot of trouble, already low here. Castle goes between worlds, but he is CC'd up, barely surviving. Gets the shutdown, though, on the other side. Curtain call going to be popped. Can't quite find Castle, who's looking for the base. Sajed starting to get the damage rolling here. Call Me shifting forward. They get another kill. DSG come to life here. Do get 2 kills.
There, and they could get the burst damage down onto Saint, so they collect that bounty. Call Me's trying to collect this turret. Inspired has other ideas.
Yeah, I think he might be getting collected as Dokka just running in. Easy kill for him. It is an objective bounty and a tower, and they're taking the dragon on the other side. So if they get this dragon, it's honestly super worth it.
A couple bounties would be going their way, but Yone's coming in to stop it.
Yep, they are going to be TPing down, and Sajed is just trying to play guard duty here, trying to keep Berserker out. They need to burst this down quick. Will they have the time to do it? Isles is in the pit. We'll see if Kryra can get it. He does secure that bounty, but the question is, can he get out with his life? The rest of DSG should survive. Kryra looks like he will not be so lucky. Saint waiting over the wall. Eventually he will fall. And that is a couple kills going between worlds. The Tempered Fate comes out and misses again. That has been a common sight so far this game. Castle, nice use of Rocket Belt to be able to dodge out on that Glacial Prison. Good hook there over on a Castle, and now the hard engage will land. Call Me trying to shift back to safety, but is anywhere safe. Sidestepping 1, sidestepping 2, sidestepping the dredge line. Still has to dodge the 4-shot, can't do it. Dokka flashes in, it's gonna look to try to finish him off. Carver coming into peel. Call Me's in trouble, he does fall. Dokka is likely to die on the other side. Sajed arrives, they do get one back, but LYON make the dive.
3 items. He'll really hurt in team fights if he's able to hit. So that's the one chance they'd have of winning, but if they're getting picked off like this, it's tough.
Yeah, there is a perfect engage onto him. Call Me either didn't have the shift or was too slow to use it, but just gets hit by the equalizer into the Deadly Flourish and taken out in a hurry. Nice play there from LYON as Dokka and Berserker tag team to take down Call Me.
That was sweet. A lot of times when you're 2-manning Baron, you just kind of play a little
dragon here, thankfully for DSG. They were able to sneak away that last one, so this isn't Soul. And DSG will be gifted a little bit more time to try to find a way back into this game, but it is, of course, going to be incredibly difficult without a big misstep from LYON or, you know, some incredible picks there from DSG. But They're going to drop the equalizer once again onto Call Me. In comes a deadly flourish, and it just rinse and repeat once again. He is killed just like that, but they do get one back as Dokla gets deleted. Did not expect the return damage coming out there from Lions and Castle as they burst down that Rumble.
Yeah, nice burst on the counter kill, but that's the Rumble combo. That's why you see it so frequently with the Deadly Flourish able to chain CC, but there's Bardolt.
Yep, going to be able to lock him down. Can they get the follow-up? No, they cannot. Berserker flashes away. Sajed trying to clear this out. Castle going to go between worlds, as there is no flash available on Berserker. Do they have the damage to get him? It looks like no. Cryra is down, as is Castle. Sajed goes in, but he is flashed on, CC'd, and dead. Lion will take the fight, will take the game, will take the series. In the time it took you to blink an eye, all of DSG are wiped from the map. DSG made some good plays, but this one was all Lion start to finish. Berserker with an incredible game. Saint with an incredible game. And Lion, slow and steady, will finish this one off, but not before grabbing a couple more kills and securing their clean 2-0 over DSG.
They let Berserker down at the end. They let Call Me kill him at the very end, but overall, Lion should be